You know, in a world that feels more divided than ever, just getting by can feel like a win. But what if you could do more than just survive? What if you could actually thrive in the middle of it all? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dig into. It's a question that, let's be honest, we all face pretty much every day, whether it's scrolling online, in our neighborhoods, or even with our own families. When you're surrounded by all these competing ideas, how do you keep your balance without completely losing who you are? So, today, we're going to unpack a really fascinating 10-point guide. It's inspired by the incredibly complex social landscape of Gilgit-Baltistan. And honestly, it's a roadmap for navigating all this complexity with wisdom and, importantly, with integrity, no matter where you live. All right, so before we can find a way through, we first need to understand the maze itself. Let's take a closer look at what a truly complex ideological world actually looks like. So, in a place like Gilgit-Baltistan, identity isn't just one simple thing. It's this incredibly complex tapestry, right? It's woven from different religious sects, totally distinct ethnic groups, and all these competing political visions. Then you throw in outside influences from national politics and big international projects, and what you get is a landscape where no single idea is in charge. Instead, they're all in this constant dance, a constant competition for resources and influence. Okay. So we've got a map of the maze in hand. Now what? How do you actually start to navigate it? Well, the very first step is learning to see what's really going on underneath all the noise. And this right here, this is an absolute game changer of an insight. So often, the passionate slogans you hear, the deeply held beliefs, they're actually vehicles for something much more tangible. We're talking about competition for jobs, for money, for political power, for social status. It's not always about pure belief. A lot of the time, it's about securing an advantage. And that brings us to the most powerful tool you have in your toolkit. Seriously, when you hear a really strong ideological claim, a political promise, or some kind of community grievance, just pause and ask yourself this one simple question. Who benefits from this narrative? Following that thread is one of the best ways to tell the difference between genuine conviction and, well, calculated manipulation. But, understanding the outside world is only half the battle. To really thrive, you also have to build an unshakable foundation inside yourself. Oh man, this is such a critical balance. It's totally natural and important to be proud of your heritage, your faith, your community. That's what gives you roots. But the danger comes when that identity becomes a wall that just separates you from other people. The goal is to be grounded, not confined. So how do you actually build that inner strength? Well, here's a really clear three-pillar framework. First, your faith or your core values. Universal principles like justice and honesty that go beyond group politics. Second, your intellect, committing to logic and facts instead of just blindly following a leader or a slogan. And third, your sense of shared humanity, that deep compassion that extends to everyone, not just people on your side. Put those three together and you've got a personal compass that can keep you steady in pretty much any storm. And this is where it gets super practical. Think about it. If your job, your entire livelihood, depends on a specific political party or some organization, you're not really free to think for yourself, are you? Disagreeing becomes a huge risk. But when you build economic independence for yourself, you earn something absolutely priceless: intellectual dignity. You can afford to have your own opinion. Okay, so you've built that strong inner core and you're ready to engage with the world. But how you engage, that's everything. It's really an art form. This concept is absolutely key. Strategic diplomacy doesn't mean being fake or two-faced. It just means choosing your words and your actions wisely to maintain harmony in public. This is especially true in small, tight-knit communities where one careless word can cause real, lasting damage. It's all about saving your honest, unfiltered debates for those private circles of trusted friends. So, what does this look like in the real world? It starts with becoming a great observer. A lot of times power whispers, it doesn't shout, so you have to pay attention to what isn't being said. Actively be a unifier. Create events that focus on what everybody shares, a common culture, a common home. And in all your interactions, never forget that potent piece of local wisdom. Peace of tongue means peace of life. All right, and this brings us to the end game. This isn't just about navigating conflict anymore. This is about how to create real, lasting change. There is a huge difference in approach here. Loud ideology, it's all about the immediate reaction. It's the rally, the viral post, the election win. It's noisy, and it's often temporary. Quiet influence, on the other hand, is built on deep understanding,
patience, and consistent action. It doesn't always make the headlines, but it's what actually changes the future.
And here's the bottom line. If you want to make a real, genuine difference, you have to rise above the day-to-day political fights. The real, lasting work is in building the foundations of a society. Pour your energy into improving education, creating economic opportunities, and ensuring a sustainable future. That's the kind of work that outlasts any political cycle.
And ultimately, it all comes down to this choice. You can spend your life fighting battles inside the ideological maze, or you can decide to step outside of it and build something that will actually stand the test of time. So the question to leave you with is, are you a fighter or are you a builder?